Hi, I'm Michael Mulhaney, and this is my digital story. First thing I'm going to talk about is the interview paper. I interviewed my girlfriend's grandfather, and I thought it was really helpful. I never really interviewed a senior citizen before. But when I was talking with him, he mentioned how he was very stressed a lot, and I really would have never even thought about that. But being a full time caregiver for his wife who has Alzheimer's, I thought it really helped me and showed me that I need to be patient with the people that I'm working with all the times because you don't know what they're going through. Next, I thought the paper on nursing homes was really helpful. I never knew that there were so many different kinds and different types, but it really took away that a lot of people in nursing homes suffer from depression. And if I choose to work with older people as a physical therapist, I will try to brighten their day or make them feel better because that might be the only person they talk to that day. Next, which I really thought was interesting, was a presentation on Alzheimer's. And with my interview, it kind of made me realize more because his wife has Alzheimer's. So it really made me think about if I do have an office in the future, how I would design it, how you don't want it to be overly stimulating, you want it to be homely, you want to have a lot of colors, but not too many and not too crazy of colors. You want to have it well lit, and I really thought it was interesting how she said you want to have like the reflective barriers on the windows instead of bars. I thought that was a really good presentation. I really enjoyed that one. Next, there was the presentation on diabetic patients. I thought this was really interesting because I could work with them in the future. And I thought it was interesting how you mentioned that physical activity increases their insulin resistance even after their workouts. I think it was up to a day and a half. Also, I could mention to my patients the Walgreens program for type 2 diabetes. Or I thought it was a really good story how when you mentioned when you had a prisoner for a patient and you realized that he wasn't going to be very compliant, that he really wasn't going to pay attention to his treatments. So you kind of figured out what he would be willing to do, and then in order to change his behavior to benefit him. That kind of goes along with patient compliance. And there were stages of changing his behavior. And in your example, you said that he wasn't even in the pre-contemplation stage. So then you would have to ask him what he would be willing to do to change his plan. And that's what you did. And I thought that was really key for me and that I could really carry that into my job as a physical therapist. And also, you mentioned how too much change at once is generally a bad plan because patients get overwhelmed. Next, living wills and advance directives. I thought obviously it's key to be prepared, and these types of issues can obviously bring up conflict. How you mentioned in class with the story of someone was just deceased, and there were these two women yelling over the body about what she was going to wear at her funeral. Obviously, you don't want things like that to happen. So in the future, I would do an advance directive myself, and I would also recommend it to my patients. Medication in the elderly. I never really realized that sometimes they may need to take a lower dose because their body can't handle it as well because of these reasons here. And obviously, this would affect me in the future because I don't want patients to miss their appointments with me. So, whatever I can do to get them to come into the door is great. For the group projects, I had healthcare economics and specifically medication. And I never really realized these different programs. So obviously, I'm going to talk to my future patients about Medicare Part D or Wisconsin Senior Care and other things like that. Lastly, I think the Hmong culture presentation was very interesting, and I think I'll use this down the road if I do have a Hmong patient. I know not to speak directly to the interpreter, to speak with them and be conscious about their beliefs. And that was it. I really enjoyed your class, and thank you very much.